So the first step to your lawn renovation plan is going to be around preparation of removing weeds, removing some coarse grasses, and generally preparing the area that you're planning to renovate by removing all the things that we don't want in our lawn, because all those things will compete with the types of grasses we do want in our lawn, and it also compete with the new seeds that we're putting down. Think of it like when you're painting a wall, you need to do all the preparation of filling the cracks and sanding down if you want to get a really good finish at the end. So this is the first day of the lawn renovation project that I'm doing. If you're not familiar with what this series is about, take a look at the introduction video that's in the card above. Basically what it's designed to do is anybody who's preparing any lawn renovation works can follow along this in real time, depending on what step you are in the process, and get some really good information and strategies exactly how you at home can get the same results as what I get by following the same processes and similar lawn care products. The first step of the program is going to be leave the lawn to grow for a couple of inches. The reason we're doing this is most people think, right, I'm going to start a renovation project, I'm going to scalp the lawn right down to its bare bones and then work from it from there. But that's actually not the most useful way to do it. The first step is allow the lawn to grow, and then you can actually see what you're working with. So you'll be able to see all the types of weed grasses you've got similar to this. You'll be able to see some of the broadleaf weeds, you'll be able to see some of the patches, etc. And it gives you a real good feel for kind of what you're up against in your lawn, and you can tailor the treatment to suit what you're facing. So once the grass has grown to around an inch or just over, I'm going to give it a light rake. And this isn't a scarification type of rake, it's a light rake, and that's going to help stand any of the weed type of grasses up. It's going to help sort of make it visible so you can see what you're tackling in the lawn. And really, the vast majority of this preparation type of phase is going to be treating broadleaf weeds and removing these types of grasses out of the lawn, following a process something similar to this. These types of coarse grasses, you can normally see them, they'll be thicker, they'll have wider stems, and also treating broadleaf weeds. When you're removing the grasses, you really want to get the root. It's no good just pulling off the tip of the grass blade. You need to get your fingers right into the sod and pull out the roots of those types of weeds. You can also try to cut them out with a knife and slashing the roots, or if you've got bigger clumps, you'll need to dig these things out. The best time to start a project like this is in the spring or the autumn. These are the seasons where the grass is most actively growing, and also favourable weather conditions such as not too much sun and enough rain to keep the seeds moist. For a small area like this, I've actually hand weeded it, and you can see some of the type of clumps that I'm pulling out. It probably took me a full day's work to literally pull and rip and rake and keep repeating that process to get as much as you can out. If you've got a bigger area, you can use something probably like a power rake or a scarifier, and it really depends on what type of condition your lawn's in. But the only way to remove these things is literally digging them out or ripping them out. There are no chemical treatments, unfortunately, without using a non-selective killer that's going to completely kill all of the lawn off. But I still not really a fan of using big chemical controls like that. If you've got more than 50% of your lawn, let's say, as grass, then we can still save it. So after looking at the coarse grasses, the other thing you might want to look out for is broadleaf weeds. Now these weeds can be controlled by a selective product, something similar to this, and you want to look out for something that says kills weeds, not lawns. You can use something like this Resolver or weedol type of product. I've linked a couple you can use in the description below. Basically for these you need to find the weed that you're looking for, shake the bottle thoroughly and just give it a spray. Now you don't need to completely saturate the area because it might kill your lawn. Just give it a small spray, make sure the leaves are coated, and job's done. You're going to want to treat all the broadleaf weeds in your lawn at this point at the start of the project. So keep repeating this process. If you've got a particularly overgrown area with broadleaf weeds, you may need to take a different approach other than spot spraying and use a canister type of sprayer to give you a full lawn treatment and spray the whole lawn. But again, that depends on what situation you find yourself in. The key part of it really is they need to be treated and they need to be killed, because they will compete with the new seed we're putting down. By broadleaves, we're talking about things like dandelion, creeping buttercup, thistles, and chickweed. Okay, so this is towards the end of that process. I've pulled and dug out and slashed all of the weeds that I could see, and I'm going to rake them all together and collect them to get them off the lawn. So here's the picture after the first day of cleaning up and treating, removing as many grasses as we can. The lawn's going to look really patchy in places and probably thin and a little bit worn, but that's absolutely fine. So a couple of days later, we've allowed the treatment that we've applied on the broadleaf weeds enough time to start activating. This can be anywhere between 2 days and a week, depending on how much time you've got. But I would definitely recommend leaving it for a couple of days on the weeds to allow it to soak in and activate. You can see, so before we move on to the next step of the project, we need to start looking about the materials we're going to need for any edging and seeding and topsoil, etc., that we're going to do for the renovation project. I'm going to cover all that in a separate video in the next video, but if you want to jump ahead and check out some prices and things, all the links for the products that I'll be using are in the description below. Meanwhile, please subscribe to the channel if you find any of this useful, and a lot of people have been leaving comments below about topics that you want me to cover up in the future video series, and also sharing some really good pictures on my Facebook and Twitter so I can follow your lawn renovation plans.